The fall event has returned to Forge of Empires, and here's what you need to get the fall event's main building, the Squirrel Hall. It'll give a ton of defense boosts, that ever-important population, as well as goods and forge points. It even gives fragments of mass self-aid kits, so if you don't have nutcrackers, you need this building. To get this building to level 9, you need to hit 420 progress in this event. The minigame is the classic Pop Blocks minigame where you have to drop coffee cups to the bottom to get progress. So long as you average between 4 to 5 coffee cups per game, you are guaranteed the main building and more. Let's figure out how we can do just that, and stick around to hear how you can win a free platinum upgrade for the Autumn Vineyard, and 500 sacks of flour. This video was produced in collaboration with InnoGames. If this is your first time playing the minigame, let's run through it quickly. Spoons regenerate every 8 hours, and these let you play the minigame. You get a board with some colored tiles on it. If 2 or more of the same colored tiles are touching, you can click them to remove them from the board. If at least 5 of the same color are touching, you'll see stars appear under them. Clicking these tiles causes a reward chest to appear in their place. Get that box down to the bottom, and you can get some rewards, including the daily special. The more stars on the box, the better the rewards you'll get. You only have a limited number of 25 moves to gain these rewards. Each time you pop tiles is counted as a move. As I mentioned earlier, there are also coffee cups that give you the progress towards the grand prizes, but only when you get these to the bottom of the board. If you're brand new to this minigame, I'd recommend focusing exclusively on bringing down coffee cups. It's really easy for players to focus on reward boxes and completely miss out on the coffee cups you need to get the main building. However, for experienced players, focusing more on boxes could be handy, as they give many points that can help you advance further in the leagues. You also have 3 tools to help you get coffee cups or reward boxes to the bottom of the board. The fork lets you remove any one tile that is not a coffee cup or reward chest. This can be extremely useful for connecting blocks of many tiles for one big pop, or it can be used to make it easier to drop items to the bottom by removing the block beneath them or making the colors line up. The spatula lets you remove an entire row of tiles, not including coffee cups or chests. This tool is great if you have multiple cups or chests at the bottom of the board, but no good way to remove them. The rolling pin is just a vertical spatula, clearing an entire column. This is extremely useful for dropping a lot of chests or coffee cups in one column when those items are higher up on the board. Note that for all tools, using them does not count as one of your moves. You start with one of each, but can buy more during the event from the shop using sacks of flour, the event's second currency. You'll get this one from most of the event quests and incidents. You can also use your sacks of flour on buying more moves when you run out, but the cost is quite high, 65 per 5 extra moves. Unless you know you can get a few coffee cups or high-tier reward chests, it's probably not worth it. There is one other rare event currency, the Golden Spoon. You can get a few of these, but each lets you play as many games as you want for a 5-minute period. It's just like the normal minigame, but you want to be moving as fast as possible. I'd recommend never buying extra turns in these games, as it's better to just start a new board. If you're fast, you can get 5 or 6 games in which you're able to get many cups, reward boxes, and league points from each Golden Spoon, so they are massive boons. For your normal spoons, though, playing optimally is the way to go, so let's talk strategies. There are 3 main options for how to play each game. 1 is focusing on grand prize progress, 2 is focusing on daily specials, and 3 is focusing on league points. If it is grand prize progress you want, your goal should purely be cups. If there's a cup on the board, it's your job to get it to the bottom in as few moves as possible. If there end up being no cups on your board, focus on making the biggest pops possible to drop chests. However, if a new cup spawns at the top, go back to focusing on them. For daily specials and league points, you will want to focus mostly on getting reward chests to the bottom. However, for daily specials, you want to get as many 6-star chests as possible with the minimum number of tiles. You need at least 20 tiles of the same color to be touching to get a 6-star chest, and you don't want too many more than that. If you do one massive pop of, say, 50 tiles, you will still only get the one box. Rather, if you get 2 pops of 25 tiles each, you would get 2 reward chests and therefore twice the chance to get a daily special. You would want to pop a bigger group of tiles if you were focusing on league points, though. The more tiles touching, the more points they give, so you want as big of a pop as possible. However, do be aware to also be dropping coffee cups too, even if you want points or daily specials. Otherwise, you may not secure the fully leveled main building. If you want to build your own strategies, here are some of my rough estimates. Each spoon is worth about 4 to 5 cups and 10,000 points if you focus on cups, and about 3 cups and 12,000 points if you focus on points. You can definitely do better than that using tools or if you are good at the minigame, but these numbers are decent for most players. Gold spoons can be worth about 4 to 5 normal spoons for points or cups, so be sure to use them wisely. As you might expect, this event brings our good friend Alaric with his challenges. There are 2 during this event, and as always, I've made a spreadsheet where you can see all the quests for each of the mini-challenges linked in the description. These quest lines have changed since they were on beta, so that spreadsheet will be updated once we know the new quests. If you want to complete them, save some spoons. Depending on how you spend your spoons daily, you will want to not play the minigame at all on Mondays before the challenges, to ensure you get 3 or 4 spoons ready to go in the challenge. That can give you a massive boost to the number of games you are able to play to complete the quests. The first mini-challenge isn't too bad, and you get some decent rewards, like 2 Ascended Harvest Hubs and the Platinum upgrade for the Sunflower Oil Press. This is the easier of the 2 mini-challenges, but is by no means simple. This one will cost a net 30 sacks of flour. The second mini-challenge is much more difficult but gives much better rewards, including more than half the kits needed for an Autumn Vineyard, 3 golden spoons, 2 Ascended Vagabond Libraries, and the Platinum upgrade for the Autumn Vineyard. However, I don't think most players will, nor should, complete this one fully. The quests are tough, asking for large quantities of 6-star chests. My recommendation for this one is to try to complete at least 24 quests to get the 3 golden spoons. This one costs a net 225 sacks of flour. Both of the mini-challenges focus heavily on the minigame, asking you to pop certain colors, collect coffee cups, or drop reward chests. Plan ahead for the quests. If you see an upcoming quest that requires you to pop red tiles, save red tiles on your board as you complete earlier quests to complete that red tile quest easier when you reach it. You can also save the event quests until the mini-challenges start, then rush the quests. This will give you some extra spoons to spend during the challenges. Again, the spreadsheet is linked in the description and will be updated as soon as we know the changes to the questline. This event brings upgraded versions of all the buildings from last year, including the Autumn Vineyard, Sunflower Oil Press, Jumpin' Pumpkin, Cider Garden, Granny Aurora's Apple Tree, and the Shroom Throne. However, the upgraded versions are not easy to get. Besides the mini-challenges, you can get the Platinum upgrades for the Sunflower Oil Press and Autumn Vineyard from the grand prizes. But do be aware that the vineyards might be tricky to get unless you're really good at the minigame due to it being a whopping 690 progress to achieve. Most players will need to spend diamonds on spoons if they wish to reach that point. In essence, you will get about 0 of these for free unless you're lucky. Despite the effort to get them, the Platinum upgrades are sizable improvements. The Sunflower Oil Press gets a massive uplift in attack boosts and its other productions, while in the Vineyard's case, you get the standard uplift to various boosts, but also will be giving fragments of the upgraded versions of the Shroom Throne and Apple Tree. Both of those buildings get marginal bonuses to their productions on top of providing fragments for the upgraded versions of the Jumpin' Pumpkin and Cider Garden. Do note though that in both cases, you get fragments of the upgraded versions of the buildings, not the upgrades themselves. In turn, the Jumpin' Pumpkin and Cider Gardens upgrades give stronger boosts in their own right. Just be careful if you have a lot of Jumpin' Pumpkins. The population requirement goes up a bit, so upgrading many of them could eat up a lot of population. Lastly, we have 2 new buildings that will appear as daily specials with limited time upgrades, the Vagabond Library and Harvest Hub. These stats are their non-ascended versions. Both will give fragments of Finish All supply productions, so if you need some of those items for the mini-challenges, these buildings are pretty good options to pick up from the minigame when they come around as daily specials. Last minute, these buildings were buffed to give coins and supplies in Quantum Incursions. Besides those buildings, the daily specials are packed with some great selections. You can get the Ascended upgrade kits for the buildings from the previous event, the Earth's Eden and Green Guardians Market, in case you want to extend their usefulness. However, if you want something a little bit more standard, the Epic 2024 Fall Kit will give you the Autumn Vineyards, Jumpin' Pumpkins, Cider Gardens, Shroom Thrones, Apple Trees, the Sunflower Oil Press, Donkey Enclosures, Golden Crops, Harvest Barns, September College, Middle of Fall, and Cider Mill base buildings and upgrades. If you want the golden upgrades for the Autumn Vineyard or Sunflower Oil Press, you can get those as daily specials too. You can also pick up the Epic 2023 Soccer Kit, Feta Farm, and Golden Goal Euros for some reason, or choose to go for 500% attack or defense boosts for Guild Battlegrounds, or some 100% attack boosts for Quantum Incursions. Do note that the daily specials have been slightly changed since beta, which is what this list shows. 3 of these rewards were swapped out with others. However, that's not all for the rewards you can win. As I mentioned earlier, this video was produced in collaboration with InnoGames, and that means that we're doing something a little bit special. A giveaway of the Platinum upgrade for the Autumn Vineyard and 500 sacks of flour. All you have to do to enter is head down into the description, click the link for the giveaway form, and add your in-game username and world that you would want the rewards on. The winner will be announced via a YouTube post and on Discord. Good luck! As per usual, we have leagues with this event. If you place in Bronze or Silver, you'll get the Level 1 Grapestophin Festival from last year's fall event, which provides fragments of the Autumn Vineyard. Placing in the Gold League gives you the Level 2 version as well as the Bovine Gala Barnhouse, which provides fragments of the Squirrel Hall. That should just about cover everything you need to know. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, consider joining my Discord server, and as always, I'll see you all next time.